Mark, I'm Davy, and I'm going to read Chapter 14. 10 words in context. In the space provided, write the letter of the meaning closest to that of each bold-faced word. Use the context of the sentences to help you figure out each word's meaning. And there are 10 words: alleviate, benefactor, comfort, cynic, demise, infamous, intrinsic, revulsion, speculate, and pharaoh. And number 1, alleviate. To alleviate his loneliness, the widower moved closer to his daughter and her family. After a long game in the August heat, the young baseball players alleviate their thirst with ice-cold lemon. And alleviate means A. to consider, B. to hide, C. to ease, and I choose the C, to ease. And number 2, benefactor. The Second Street Bank is a long-time benefactor of the arts. This year it will sponsor a series of free jazz concerts in the parks. The wealthy benefactor who paid for the child's operation prefers to remain anonymous. Benefactor means A. a financial supporter, B. a social critic, C. a cooperative person, and I choose A. a financial supporter. Number 3, comfort. Miriam and David's relationship is so comfort that they never eat out. Even their best friends don't know they are seeing each other. If you enjoy comfort activities, become a secret agent. Comfort means A. obvious, B. concealed, C. easy to bear, and I choose the B. concealed. And number 4, cynic. Her parents' nasty divorce has made Libby a cynic about marriage. Mr. Bryan was a cynic about people until he fell down on a street corner, and several strangers rushed to his aid. And cynic means A. someone who believes the worst, B. someone who gives help, C. someone with a bad reputation, and I choose A. someone who believes the worst. And number 5, demise. During my years in grade school and high school, the untimely demise of several of my classmates made me very aware of my mortality. In 1567, a beard caused a man's demise. Hans Dinger's beard was so long that he stamped on it while climbing a staircase, lost his balance, fell down the steps, and died. Demise means A. popularity, B. a secret, C. dying, and I choose C. dying. And number 6, infamous. King Henry VIII of England was infamous throughout Europe for executing 2 of his 6 wives. Visitors to the dungeons of Asian castles always want to see the instruments of torture, including infamous Iron Maiden, a body-shaped box with spikes inside. And infamous means A. non-unfavorably, B. thought to be annoying, C. giving hope, and I choose A. non-unfavorably. And number 7, intrinsic. Trust is intrinsic to any good friendship. Because Leanne has an intrinsic desire to learn, she doesn't need the reward of good grades to motivate her studies. And intrinsic means A. secret, B. fundamental, C. unnecessary, and I choose B. fundamental. And number 8, revulsion. Whenever I read about child abuse in the newspaper, I am filled with such revulsion that I often cannot finish the article. When Sharon met the man who had cheated her father, she was overcome with revulsion. And revulsion means A. interest, B. hatred, C. understanding, and I choose B. hatred. And number 9, speculate. It's interesting to speculate how history might have been different if Abraham Lincoln had lived a few years longer. The straightest asked Casey to speculate about what might happen if she told Rex her true feelings. And speculate means A. to remember, B. to announce, C. to guess, and I choose C. to guess. Number 10. Fairy. Men who are unsure about their masculinity sometimes try to prove they are fairy by being overly aggressive. When a male heron stamps his feet and sticks his neck out, and then drops his head and says plop up, the female finds him very ferial. In fact, that behavior is how the male attracts a mate. And ferial means A. having attractive male qualities, B. lacking in confidence, C. unselfish, and I choose A. having attractive male qualities. And the second part, matching words with definitions. Following are the definitions of the 10 words. Clearly write or print each word tag next to its definition. The sentences above and on the previous page will help you decide on the meaning of each word. And number 1, secret hidden, and I choose the comfort. Number 2, a person who believes the worst of people's behavior and motivates someone who believes people are motivated only by selfishness, and I choose cynic. Number 3, belonging to a person or thing by its very nature, and thus not dependent on circumstances, and I choose intrinsic. Number 4, having a very bad reputation, widely known for being vicious, criminal, or deserving of contempt, and I choose infamous. Number 5, a person or organization that gives help, especially financial aid, and I choose benefactor. Number 6, manly or masculine, and I choose ferial. And number 7, death, and I choose demise. Number 8, to come up with ideas or theories about a subject, theorize, and I choose speculate. Number 9, to relieve, make easier to endure, and I choose alleviate. Number 10, great disgust or distaste, and I choose revulsion. And next is sentences check 1. Using the answer line provided, complete each item below with the correct word from the box. Use each word once. A is alleviate, B. benefactor, C. comfort, D. cynic, E. demise, F. infamous, G. intrinsic, H. revulsion, I. speculate, J. ferial. And number 1, problems are blank to life. They are unavoidable, and I choose G. intrinsic. Number 2, my hunger isn't fully satisfied, but the apple blank is somewhat, and I choose A. alleviate. Number 3, teenage guys usually welcome a deepening voice and a thickening beard as things that they are becoming more blank, and I choose J. ferial. Number 4, the selfless work of the nuns in the slums of India is enough to touch the hearts of most hardened blank, and I choose D. cynic. Number 5, though she was tried and found not guilty, Lizzie Borden is still blank for killing her parents with a hatchet, and I choose F. infamous. Number 6, the children love the blank activities involved in preparing their mother's pricing party, and I choose C. comfort. Number 7, the mass murderers' neighborhoods will overcome with blank when they learn what their friend had been doing in his basement, and I choose F. H. revulsion. Number 8, as no group has claimed responsibility, we can only blank on the motives for the bombing, say the newscaster. I choose I. speculate. Number 9. Roger Norfolk had been a well-known blank of AIDS research, so it was no surprise that he left a lot of money for the research in his will. I choose B. Benefactor. Number 10. It's a good idea for married couples to discuss their funeral plans in case of each other's blank. For example, do they wish to be buried or cremated? And I choose E. Demise. And next is sentence check 2. Using the answer lines provided, complete each item below with 2 words from the box. Use each word once. And number 1 and number 2. Nursing is a good career for D because it's a blank part of her personality to try to blank people's pain. In addition, since she is physically and mentally strong, she will be able to handle the rigors of nursing, such as intense stress and long hours. And first blank is G. Intrinsic, and second blank is A. Alleviate. And number 3 and number 4. Although everything about the Nazi filled with a Dutch spy with blank, his blank assignment was to make friends with top Nazi scientists. He had few qualms about faking such friendships. He would have felt more guilty if he hadn't done everything in his power to fight the Nazis. And first blank is H. Revulsion. Second blank is C. Comfort. And number 5 and number 6. The blank in town said that Joyce Lester's sorrow over her husband's blank was much less than her joy in getting the money from his insurance policy. And first blank is D. Cynic. And second blank is E. Demise. And number 7 and number 8. Young men who are bullies usually think of themselves as blank, but a blank of the weak is far more manly than someone who takes advantage of weakness. And the first blank I choose J. Ferial. And the second blank I choose B. Benefactor. And number 9 and number 10. With all the stories told about Jesse James, the Delta game and other blank figures of the Wild West, we can only blank as to how much is fact and how much is fiction. And first blank I choose F. Infamous. And second blank I choose I. Speculate. And a final check. The Mad Monk. Here is a final opportunity for you to straighten your knowledge of the 10 words. First, read the following selection carefully. Then fill in each blank with a word from the box at the top of the previous page. Context clues will help you figure out which word goes in which blank. Use each word once. Shortly before the Russian Revolution, an eccentric man named Rasputin became number 1, F. Infamous, as the Mad Monk, because he dressed like a peasant, drank heavily, and rarely bathed. The nobility often felt number 2, H. Revulsion during their encounters with him at the palace. Yet, despite his outward appearance, Rasputin possessed an number 3, G. Intrinsic charm that drew many to him, including the Russian Empress. She thought him a great man of God and a special number 4, B. Benefactor of her seriously ill son, whose condition she felt Rasputin number 5, A. Alleviate. Many number 6, D. Cynic, believed otherwise. To them, Rasputin was no healer. Instead, he was a man who exploited his relationship with the Empress for his own benefit. Rather than praise Rasputin, his enemies preferred to malign him. In a pamphlet titled The Holy Devil, one of his critics described him as a sinister man. This author even dared to number 7, I. Speculate that the monk and the Empress were romantically involved. This theory was strengthened by the fact that the increased holy man pursued many women and boasted about how number 8, J, virile he was. Finally, a group of Russian noblemen made 9, C, conferred plans to kill Rasputin. Somehow, the secret must have gotten out, for a Russian official warned Rasputin of a plot against him. He nevertheless accepted the nobleman's invitation to a dinner party, where they served him poisoned wine and cake. When Rasputin did not appear to succumb to the poison, his enemies hastened his number 10E demise by shooting and stabbing him and then dumping him into an icy river. An autopsy revealed that he had died by drowning. Okay, and I finished the chapter 14, and now I'm going to read chapter 15. And 10 words in context. In the space provided, write the letter of the meaning closest to that of each bold-faced word. Use the context of the sentences to help you figure out each word's meaning. And here are 10 vocabularies. And number 1 is absent. Number 2 is obedient. Number 3 is agnostic. Number 4 is aspire. Number 5 is benevolent. Number 6 is steadfast. Number 7 is descent. Number 8 is diversion. Number 9 is lucrative. Number 10 is mandatory. And number 1, after. Although Lou has given up cigarettes, he doesn't abstain from tobacco. Now he chews it. My sister called off her engagement to Clinton because he wouldn't abstain from dating other women. And abstain from means A, to desire, B, to believe in, C, to deny oneself, and I choose C, to deny oneself. Number 2, alleviate. Diana is neither a Democrat nor a Republican. She isn't alleviated with any political party. The young singer could have earned more if she had been alleviated with the musicians union, but she couldn't afford the membership dues. Alleviate with means A, to joy, B, to study, C, to hold back from, and I choose A, to joy. And number 3 is agnostic. Iris believes there is a God, and Marika feels sure there isn't. Jean, an agnostic, feels that we can be certain one way or the other. And my uncle, who was an agnostic, used to say, humans cannot understand a flower, let alone whether or not there's a God. Agnostic means A, one who denies God's existence, B, one who feels we can know if God exists, C, one who is sure there is a God, and I choose B, one who feels we can know if God exists. And number 4, aspire. 12-year-old Derek, who loves drawing buildings, aspires to be a great architect. Millions of young people aspire to be professional athletes, but only a few will succeed. Aspire means A, to fear, B, to wish, C, to volunteer, and I choose B, to wish. Number 5, benevolent. People are more benevolent when they get tax deduction for their donates. In 1878, William Booth founded a benevolent association to help the poor of London. He called it the Salvation Army. And benevolent means A, recreational, B, profitable, C, charitable, and I choose C, charitable. And number 6, deficit. Our club, it has spent so much more than it has taken in that it now has a huge budget deficit. Residents are asked not to water their lawns because a deficiency of rain has dangerously lowered the water 5. And defaced means A. a lake, B. an overflow, C. a collection, and I choose A. a lake. Number 7. Dissent. The committee was so torn by dissent that its members could not agree even on whether or not to schedule another meeting. The dictator permitted people to agree with policies or keep silent about them, but not to express dissent. Dissent means A. plans, B. opposition, C. relief, and I choose B. opposition. Number 8. Divergence. My history teacher says that one of her favorite diversions during summer vacation is reading mystery novels. Skip likes his job, but he also enjoys such diversions as playing video games, watching basketball, and reading humorous stories. Diversion means A. recreation, B. something easy, C. an assignment. I choose A. recreation. And number 9. Lucrative. Investment in the stock market can be lucrative, however they can also result in great financial loss. Teaching at a small college is a lucrative profession being admitted, but I have never felt the need to make lots of money. And lucrative means A. required, B. financially rewarding, C. risky, and I choose B. financially rewarding. Number 10. Mandatory. Members of the basketball team have to follow strict rules. For example, it's mandatory that each player attend at least 18% of the practices. A research paper isn't mandatory, the instructor says, but if you write one, you will get extra credit. And mandatory means A. unimportant, B. helpful, C. essential, and I choose C. essential. Next, matching words with definitions. Following are definitions of the 10 words. Clearly write or print each word next to its definition. The sentences above and on the previous page will help you decide on the meaning of each word. Number 1. To strongly desire, to be ambitious, to do something or to get something, and I choose aspire. Number 2. Profitable, well-paying, and I choose lucrative. Number 3. A shortage, a lack in amount, and I choose diversity. And number 4. To hold oneself back from something, refrain, and I choose abstain. Number 5. Charitable, and I choose benevolent. And number 6. A person who believes we cannot know whether or not there is a God, and I choose agnostic. And number 7. Required, I choose mandatory. Number 8. An amusement or pastime, anything that relaxes or amuses, and I choose diversion. Number 9. To associate joy, I choose alleviate. Number 10. Disagreement, and I choose dissent. And next is the sentence check 1. Using the answer line provided, complete each item below with the correct word from the box. Use each word once. And number A is abstain, B is obedient, C agnostic, D aspire, E benevolent, F diversity, G dissent, H diversion, I lucrative, J mandatory. And number 1. My kid brother blank to become the video game champion of the world. I choose D aspire. Number 2. The blank fund and my church collects money to help poor families in our parish, and I choose E benevolent. Number 3. My parents enjoy card games, but my sister and I like such blank as computer games and music videos, and I choose H diversion. Number 4. An entrance fee wasn't blank, but a sign at the museum entrance suggested that visitors make a donation. I choose J mandatory. Number 5. Because Hank needs to lose weight. His doctor recommended that he blank from all sweet and fatty foods. I choose A. Abstain. Number 6. We could overcome a blank of organs for transplants if more people would agree to have their organs donated after they die. I choose F. Diversity. Number 7. There was no blank in the family on whether or not to start a vegetable garden this year. We all agree it was a great idea. I choose G. Descent. Number 8. Young could have joined the all-male club, but he prefers to blank with organizations that welcome both men and women. I choose B. Affiliate. Number 9. When someone who believes in God marries someone who does not, the comic asks, do they give birth to a blank? I choose C. Agnostic. And number 10. Acting is blank for only a small percentage of performers. The rest need additional sources of income, such as waiting on tables or driving a cab. And I choose I. Lucrative. Sentence check 2. Using the answer lines provided, complete each item below with 2 words from the box. Use each word once. Number 1 and number 2. My uncle decided to splurge and blank with a country club because golf is his favorite blank. First blank is B. Affiliate, and second blank is H. Diversion. Number 3 and number 4. Gail didn't blank from smoking cigarettes at the office until her employer made not smoking blank. Keeping her job was a very good incentive to get her to quit. First blank is A. Abstain. Second blank is J. Mandatory. Number 5 and number 6. Some people think that since Stan is an blank, he must be immoral. It's true he is not sure if God exists, but that doesn't mean he lacks a moral sense. In fact, he recently founded a blank society at work to raise money for disabled children in the area. And first blank is C. Agnostic, and second blank is E. Benevolent. Number 7 and number 8. The blank in the township treasurer is causing a lot of blank over whether or not taxes should be raised. And first blank is F. Diversity. Second blank is G. Descent. And number 9 and number 10. Because my father blanked to make enough money to send his children to college, he's working hard to make his auto repair business as blank as possible. And first blank is D. Aspires. And second blank is I. Lucrative. And final check complete over holidays. Here is a final opportunity for you to straighten your knowledge of the 10 words. First, read the following selection carefully, then fill in each blank with a word from the box at the top of the previous page. Context clue will help you figure out which word goes in which blank. Use each word once. While Ginny and Paul are generally a happily married couple, they do struggle over one point of 1. G. Descent. They disagree as to how their family should observe religious holidays. The emphasis on presents, say Ginny, has made the season number 2 lucrative for all those mercenary retailers who overcharge at holiday time. Also, people who should be watching their expenses create unnecessary number 3 F. Diversions in their budget by squandering money on unimportant gifts. She complains that exchanging presents at Christmas is practically number 4 J. Mandatory whether or not one believes in the holiday's religious significance. Ginny number 5 D. Aspires to keep her home free of all such non-religious customs and thus wants her children to number 6 A. Abstain from traditions such as gift giving and dyeing Easter eggs. She feels the family's money would be better spent if it were donated to a number 7 E. Benevolent organization for helping the poor. Some of Ginny's neighborhoods assume that she is an number 8 C. Agnostic because of her lack of holiday spirit. they are wrong. However, Ginny believes deeply in God and is number 9 be affiliated with a church. While Paul understands Ginny's concerns, he prefers the conventional way of celebrating holidays. Children enjoy the customary number 10H diversions that are connected with the holidays, he says. What would Christmas be without a visit to Santa and gifts under the tree? What would Easter be without colorful eggs and an Easter egg hunt? These are pleasant practices that enhance the joy of the season. Okay, I finished my vocabulary speaking. Thank you. Bye bye.